Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're in Tondo. They'll be issuing tickets for illegal parking. They'll be clearing the sidewalks of obstructions like vendors. Actually, it took the team a long time to get here because there's just so many parked vehicles and so many vendors. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-lane, 3-lane or 4-lane road. Pretty much everything is just one lane because of obstructions. For those vehicles that have a driver with a license, they'll issue a ticket for attended illegal parking, which is 1,000 peso, plus obstruction, which is 1,000 peso. For those vehicles that don't have a driver, it will be unattended illegal parking, which is 2,000, plus obstruction, 1,000. Over here they're issuing one more ticket to this gentleman. Unfortunately, no helmet and slippers. The plate says Manila City Hall, and I think this motorcycle here is about to be impounded because unfortunately the driver only has a student permit. He doesn't have a license. And here comes the tow crew now. They'll take the bike over to the tow truck and they're just issuing a ticket now to the driver of this jeepney. I'd be surprised that a jeepney still runs, but it's possible. And in fact, no, it's not working. That's why they're bringing in another jeepney now. I think they're either going to jump start it or tow it. I'm not sure. And you see the sidewalk clearing team have already confiscated a number of items that were unattended. Right now the MMDA are issuing a ticket to this truck, but this is where problems kick in. Even though it's a no parking area, someone collected 500 peso from him. Manila Traffic and Parking Bureau, 500 peso to park there for the day. So these are the kind of conflicts that the MMDA often run into here in Manila City. And same with this truck here. Even though it's a no parking area, the truck driver paid 400 peso to Manila Traffic and Parking Bureau for the day. But unfortunately he's still getting a ticket from the MMDA. There was actually a story on TV just a week or two ago about this, that people are selling parking on streets that are meant to be no parking, and then the drivers still get issued a ticket, so there's a big conflict. There's no driver for this vehicle here, so they've left the ticket on the windscreen. That will be illegal parking, unattended, plus obstruction, so a total of 3,000 peso. And one more motorcycle over here. Unfortunately, the lady was wearing the helmet on her elbow instead of her head, and two more riders coming out the side street now. You'd think that when they see all the MMDA, they wouldn't be so brave to pull out, but they do, and they end up with tickets. You see they're loading one more motorcycle on the back of the tow truck, and then they're gonna pick up that jeepney. And one more motorcycle here. You'll see the lady on the back has an umbrella, but no helmet, unfortunately. And over here the sidewalk clearing team are removing more stuff. There's not really much of a sidewalk in the area, but whatever is left they're trying to clear. Over here the team are looking for the owner of this motorcycle so they can issue a ticket for illegal parking. They don't want to issue it to the plate number because this vehicle hasn't been registered for a couple of years, so most likely that ticket would never be paid. Instead they want the driver or the owner to give a driver's license, and the team just issued a ticket to this vehicle here. And you'll see the PMP are also here today to provide any support or security that the team might need. This lady here is actually the barangay captain. She's come out now to join the team so they can advise her what they've done and what they expect in the future. And hopefully, you know, with good cooperation from the barangay, you can see long-term improvements. Of course, all of these houses here are built on the sidewalk. The team won't be touching those because they're residential, so if ever they're going to be relocated, it will be handled by the city. All they're asking is to make sure they don't obstruct the road. Over here the team stopped one more rider, unfortunately wearing a baseball cap instead of a helmet. There is a helmet on the bike here, so they're just asking now to see his license, issue a ticket, send him on his way with the helmet, of course. Right now they're on Tayuman Street and they've stopped a lot of motorcycle riders without helmets, or their back passengers without helmets. There was a bit of a commotion after they stopped these two gentlemen riding without helmets, but things seem to have cooled down now. They've handed over the license and they're issuing a ticket to them now. And just behind that commotion they've stopped this gentleman riding without helmet. It's a little bit unfortunate because he's holding a helmet but not wearing on his head. So unfortunately that's a 1,500 peso penalty, and of course another 500 for the slippers, unfortunately. And it turns out that gentleman's driver's license is actually expired, so he's speaking to the commander now because he feels like it's unfair that he was stopped, but he was stopped because he wasn't wearing a helmet. So you'll see that motorcycle is now being put on the back of the tow truck. If you're caught driving with an expired license, it's considered as invalid, and that makes the vehicle impoundable. And across the road they're impounding one more motorcycle, again no helmet and wearing slippers, and unfortunately the driver only has a student permit, not a driver's license. And you'll see here the MMDA just stopped one more rider, no helmet. Unfortunately it's very common here in Manila City.